everybody, my name is Gabriella Rosano and I'm the project coordinator for LEAD Phillipsburg, Learn, Educate, Advocate, Develop, Drug-Free Communities, and I'm here with...
My name is Donna Roback and I'm the Warren Hills Community Coalition Coordinator, and together we are presenting a Hidden in Plain Sight video for your education.
We are going to be doing this virtually, so you'll be able to rewatch this, watch it at a later date, and share it with your friends and family or people around you. So as you can see, we do have a mock setup of a bedroom. This may look like your child, your son or daughter's bedroom, and we're just going to go over some spots where youth are hiding paraphernalia, including some matches, marijuana, pills, and other things that they may be using. So we're going to be going over these things just as places where you can take a look in your child's room, things that might spark warning, or just some areas where you might not think to look. Alrighty guys, welcome to the beginning of our Hidden in Plain Sight project. We are here at the first section that we're going to be showing you, and this is the night side or the bedside table. Most children in their bedrooms do have one right next to their bed. It looks a little something like this, cluttered with a bunch of stuff in it. So we're going to show you what you should be able to look for here and some things that may raise a red flag. So first up, we have this red cup here. This is a red Solo cup. They come in different colors, but this is to be of note. It could signify drinking games as well as what's inside. So we have 2 ping pong balls. This is indicative of maybe beer pong or drinking games. Inside the cup, we also have straws of different sizes. There's a small one in here as well. These are just to look out for, especially if they're not in a beverage, that they could be used for snorting substances. Next up, we have these 3 beverages here. We have a brisk iced tea. You can feel this is filled with iced tea. It's unopened. It is regular drinking. We also have what looks like a regular Coke. So could be just like the iced tea. You pick it up, it feels a little heavy, but there's something off about it. So if you open the cap, this is actually what's called a hide. So inside you can see there's another cap in here. This could be twisted off and can be used as a flask or something that you can hide other paraphernalia in. This one right here is a Red Bull can. Of course, your son or daughter should not be drinking Red Bull at night, as it could be indicative of keeping them up later, to wait until the parent or guardian has gone to bed, to maybe smoke marijuana or do different drugs at night when nobody's awake. It is as well indicative of maybe using as a mixer for alcoholic beverages. Next up, we have a trophy here. A lot of kids have trophies from Little Leagues and different things in their room. Just be careful and notice if you see any that are wiggly or are not stable. They can come up, they can twist, they can turn. And in this body here, you can hide or stash baggies of marijuana or other substances inside those trophies. Next up, we have a pencil case here, a little pencil cup. Everybody has 1 or 2 or 3 random pencil cups with a bunch of stuff in them. Inside this, you just see some regular Sharpies. If you open them, there's nothing suspicious there, just a regular old Sharpie. But this one here, you can feel is a little bit lighter. If you open that up, you can see that the felt tip can come out of these thicker Sharpies, as well as other Sharpies and markers of this nature. And inside there, you can fill this with anything from pills to marijuana baggies to even smaller jewels or electronic cigarette devices. So please be aware of that and know that these felt tips can come out and provide something to hide in. Also in this cup, we do have a little package here. These are tobacco strips where they can roll tobacco or marijuana. Next up, right next to the bed, we have a Powerade, a Gatorade, any type of sports drink. These are indicative of using them as mixers for alcoholic beverages. Next up, we have here, it's a little bottle of Listerine. So it comes in any size, different colors. If there is Listerine on the nightstand table, if it's not in the bathroom or next to a toothbrush, this could raise a red flag. Maybe they're using this to wash their mouth out, to rinse out the smell of cigarettes, tobacco products, marijuana, anything that's going to be leaving a smell on the breath. Next up is a crazy one. We have here just some candy. Doesn't seem suspicious at all. Our kids have candy all the time. Even around Halloween time, we're going to be seeing a lot of candy laying around. If you see an abundance of Tootsie Rolls, what the kids are doing are actually putting these in the microwave, heating them up just for a short bit of time until they're tacky and malleable, and then they're able to stick pills inside of these and form the Tootsie Roll back around it, put it back into the wrapper, and then they can go to school with these. They can hand them out to their friends in the hallway. They can eat them in class. They can eat them right in front of you, and these are hidden right in plain sight, and they have pills inside of them or other paraphernalia. Next up, we have a candle here. So a candle can be lit to mask the smell of marijuana smoke or other cigarette smoke, tobacco products, anything like that. Right on top of the candle here, we have an Altoids case or any mint case. These mints can be used for two different reasons. If there's mints inside, they could be using this to hide the smell on their breath of marijuana or tobacco products. As well as if we open up this one, we do hear something inside of there. There's actually some pills or Tic Tacs that are stimulating as pills inside there. Next up, we have a remote, which seems like a normal item. It wouldn't be a normal item, especially if there's no TV or electronics in the room. So inside of here, if there is no TV or electronics, you really want to look out for these. The back here where the batteries can go can easily be taken out of, and you can see back here behind this little battery, we do have a little package here. So anything can be hidden that's small enough to fit in that back spot. Next up is a hairbrush. So any old hairbrush, of course, if you have any daughters, even sons have hairbrushes, very normal household item. But if you take these bristles out here, you're gonna find a hide. So we have a little baggie in here. We can have anything in there from strong substances to marijuana. You can hide pills. Anything that's gonna fit behind this brush area can be used in there as a hide. Especially if this is not a clear backing, you're not going to be able to notice. A few more items we have here on the night side table is a little glasses case. Of course, if your son or daughter does not wear glasses, let's look out for that. Inside here, you're going to see a little pack of matches. So they can hide anything in small spaces or something that is going to be tubular or covers up any item. So we're going to look out for that. We also have here what looks like a normal tampon. Of course, if you have a daughter or a niece, you're gonna think, okay, that's just normal. But inside of here, we actually have a booze tube. So this is a little flask that's hidden in a female product here. So look out for those. And then last but not least, we have bottle caps, beer bottle caps. This is a Bud Light cap and a Corona cap. These are just indicative that drinking is going on, and if there's a bottle cap, that means a bottle has been opened. So take a look for that.
Welcome to section 2 of Hidden in Plain Sight. And we wanted to kind of go over some things, again, that might look very normal and natural in your child's room, and some things that, you know, maybe a lot of us wouldn't question. One of the first things, you know, a lot of kids have little carriers in their room, little storage bins. One of the things you really want to look for are over-the-counter medications, such as Robitussin, Mucinex DM. A lot of times a combination of these will actually give a child a feeling of almost very similar to an opiate high. And again, most people wouldn't think anything of this. They would think, okay, maybe the child's not feeling well, they have a cold. This is something, again, to just be really mindful about, especially if they're taking these items and they're hiding them. you want to be kind of, you know, it could be a red flag that maybe they're abusing the medications. One of the other things that we also have here is incense. Incense can be used to hide smells from marijuana, cigarette smoke, or smoking of other substances as well. So that's something to be mindful of. This is actually utilized, it's a toilet paper, the middle of a toilet paper roll with a dryer sheet in it. A lot of times kids will use this when they're smoking marijuana as a means of covering the smell. So they may inhale, and when they're exhaling through the tube so that the marijuana smell is covered up. Again, when we're looking at covering smells, if there's Febreze, again, typical normal household items, but in excess, you know, if they're kind of about the room, it's something to kind of look at and possibly question. Something else that, you know, this looks typically like, you know, tennis balls, especially if your child's maybe playing a tennis player. But when you open this up, the ball, you know, looks pretty normal, but in the back, there's a slit. Pills can be put into here, other forms of paraphernalia, or other substances. So again, it's just something to be mindful of. Another, here we have umbrellas. You know, this is just your typical umbrella. You wouldn't really think much of this, but this umbrella, which I believe these can be ordered on like Amazon and sites like that, is actually a flask. The top of it unscrews, and then they can put whatever they're drinking in here. The weight on this also is much lighter than the typical umbrella. So again, it's just some things to be mindful of. We'll move over here to the purse. Probably wouldn't think too much of this, but one of the things that you want to look at, as Gabrielle had spoken about, Tootsie Rolls, also lollipops, again in excess. Ecstasy, a lot of times when someone is using ecstasy, they'll be utilizing a lot of lollipops. Something else to also think about is vaping. You know, this can be used for tobacco. It can also be used for oils, cannabis oils, and a lot of times, again, you know, they can be in items like this that you may not even know what this is.
Hi guys, this is section 3 of Hidden in Plain Sight, and we are moving over to the desk area. So a lot of young people, our daughters and sons, do have a desk with a computer or where they put their laptop, tablets, anything like that. So the desk is somewhere that we definitely want to take a look at and see if there's anything alarming, or some of the things that are on here may not look suspicious, but they are utilized for other things, or stashing paraphernalia, drugs, or alcohol. So we are going to start at the corner here. We do have another candle, as we showed by the bedside table. This again can be lit to mask any smells of marijuana, tobacco, smoke, or anything that has a scent. Next up, we have a soda can here. So this is a diet soda. Again, this can be indicative of any mixed drinks. They could be mixing this with alcohol, as well as mixing this with the Robitussin or over-the-counter cough medicine to create what Donna was talking about with the drinks, with the Robitussin, the over-the-counter cough medicine, and sodas. As well as this, you see here, is bent a little bit on each end. There are a few little holes right in here, and this is a homemade smoking pipe. So the substance, marijuana or tobacco, can be put on the top, and the kids can actually smoke through the can. Next up, we have the Chips Ahoy. So this little carton, of course, is normal. You're going to see this in your kitchen. You have this in your pantry. Your kids are eating cookies all the time. But if they have this up in their room and it's sitting on their table, you might think, they shouldn't be eating that in their room. So if you shake it, you can hear that that's not cookies inside. We're going to open that up, and we're going to find a Juul pod. So this is an electronic cigarette. The top of this comes off, and these are what's called the pod. So these have the tobacco and nicotine inside, and then you're also going to see an additional pod in here. Next up, we have this little pencil case. This is a normal item that you're going to see on a desk in your child's room. Again, right on top here, we have a ping pong ball. This is indicative of playing drinking games or beer pong. Inside here, we're going to pull out this top drawer. We're going to see some Visine eye drops. So this could be another household item, but if you are finding this in your child's room, especially stashed or hidden like Donna had mentioned, you're going to want to take a second look at that. So with Visine eye drops, your kids are going to put these in their eyes after drinking marijuana, as your eyes do become bloodshot and red after smoking that, and this is going to help take that away, and you may not be able to notice any use of marijuana after using these. We also have a little package of what looks like regular Kleenex tissues. Inside here, if you open that up, you're going to find a little razor blade. This could be indicative of cutting. In our next drawer here, we're going to open this up. We're going to find what looks to be maybe a toothbrush holder, eyeglass case, anything that's long and narrow and hollow like this. If we shake it, you can hear, of course, opens up, and we do have some mock pills in here. Or an item like this can hide anything else, baggies, cigarettes, you can hide vape devices, pens in here, anything can go with this. Another item that we have in here is a pacifier. So, of course, if you have a child in middle school or elementary school, they shouldn't be using pacifiers anymore, or they're a little bit too old to be using that. So this is definitely going to raise some alarm and be a red flag. So as Donna had mentioned before, when we saw in the bed in our purse how we had lollipops, if your child is on ecstasy, they do have the sensation to be wanting to suck on something with their mouth. So like the lollipops that Donna showed us, the pacifier is going to be the same tactic for those. They're going to be wanting to suck on something with their mouth, and that's what this is going to be used for. In the last drawer here, again, we do have some more tampons that are hidden flasks, so just look out for those, as well as another long item. This is actually CBD shot, so they can open this and take a shot of CBD, high potency CBD shot. So right here we have a little mini flashlight. Anything really that has a keychain or has something that batteries can fit in. If you screw this little top part off where the battery usually goes, you're able to see, of course, that little cavity there. Anything can be hidden inside that cavity where a battery can be used. Right here we have a little package. This just looks like little gummy bears, very normal, kind of like the Tootsie Roll or the lollipop. But if you turn this around, you're actually going to see that these are CBD gummies, extra strength edibles. So definitely want to look out for those. Another thing with gummy bears as well, even if you just see the regular clear little gummy bears, look out for those as well, because youth can also be soaking those in alcohol. Vodka, tequila, any type of alcohol can be soaked up into the gummies. And again, they can bring those to school, they can pass them out in the hallways, they can eat them in class, they can eat them in front of you, and again, that's hidden right in plain sight. We have some playing cards here, a normal deck of cards. This could just be indicative of playing drinking games. So there's a lot of different games that you can play with cards. So that's just something to be aware of, especially if you're seeing multiple decks or decks with missing cards, or if the cards are you know, a little grimy or sticky, or you know, may have beer or alcohol residue on them. That's something to look for. We do have the dust remover here. This can be indicative of whippets. So any household items that you do have that have propellant cleaners, they do contain a product that gives you mind-altering mind-altering experiences. So if your child does use this, they can use it as a whippet, they can put it in their mouth, and all they have to do is press on that. So these are very dangerous, and they can even cause what's called sniffing death, which does lead to heart failure, and that can be done in one use. So these are something definitely to look out for. And another thing with the dust remover, this is a dust remover for keyboards. So although it looks like it's just a dust remover for the keyboard that it's sitting right next to, you want to watch out for that, especially if the keyboard's dirty. Next up, we have this, what looks like a cute little tchotchke that sits on your desk. It's in the shape of an octopus. This is actually a glass pipe. So you can use this to smoke marijuana out of. Next up, right on the keyboard here, you can hardly tell, I almost missed it standing right next to it, is a vape pen. So we have a vape pen right here sitting, it's flush with the keyboard, and again, hidden right in plain sight. I almost missed it. Again, right here, also hidden in plain sight, this looks completely normal to be sitting on your child's desk, especially next to a computer. This looks like a USB drive that you can plug in and copy things to. This is actually a vape device. So again, hidden right in plain sight, right on view, right on the table, and it could be, you know, disguised as something of a household object. So moving on over here, we have some more tennis balls. So like Donna showed us before, just want to open those up, just bounce them, make sure that there's nothing shaking inside of there, no pills inside. Again, especially if your child does play tennis, you're going to see these around the house a lot. If they have more than a few things in their room, just give them a shake or a bounce and make sure there's nothing hidden inside. We do have a bandage case here. Of course, you have bandages in your house, maybe in the pantry or in your bathroom, but if they're on your kid's nightstand table or bedside table, you want to just take a look. So of course we do still have our Band-Aids in here, but if you dig a little deeper, you can find a smoking pipe inside. So really any box, something that closes, something you can't see through, it raises a red flag if you see something that shouldn't be in the bedroom, because they can fit things in there. Again, we have another solo cup here, indicative of maybe beer pong or drinking games. Another straw here. Of course, a straw shouldn't be hidden inside of a pencil case. Like we said before, if it isn't a drink with a beverage inside and you see your child using it, no need to be alarmed, but if you do see it in a red cup like this, or in a pencil cup, or something that just doesn't fit right, you want to take a look at that and make sure they're not using that for any snorting. Another item that we have seen around the bedroom a lot is Febreze. Again, spray this if they're smoking marijuana or cigarettes in their room to mask the smell in the air. Another thing we have here, especially now during COVID times, is hand sanitizer. So this is a very popular item. We're seeing this everywhere. It's on every table. It's all over the place now, but as you can tell, this does look a little liquidy to be a hand sanitizer. So just open that up, take a sniff, and you're gonna find alcohol inside here. It could be any clear liquid, it could be vodka, or any substance that's clear. So you wanna take a look at those and make sure that there's actually hand sanitizer in there and they're not flasks. Another item we have here right on the desk is very normal. It's a pencil case holder. Again, something that's closed, you can't see through, and it zips shut. If we open this up, we're going to find, of course, we have pens, markers, pencils, and then this just blends right in with the rest of the things in here. This is a vape pen. You honestly cannot tell the difference. It looks like a writing pen, especially with all the stuff in here. If you put that in there, it just blends right in with everything. All right, guys, so that concludes our Hidden in Plain Sight project. Again, my name is Gabriella Rosano, and I am the project coordinator from LEAD Phillipsburg, and I have with me again,
I'm Donna Roback, and I am the Warren Hills Community Coalition coordinator. And we hope that you guys have learned some things, maybe put an end to some questions you might have about some things you've been seeing in your home. And if you have any questions for us, Gabby will be giving you some contact information. So we hope that this has been a good experience for you.
Absolutely. So stay tuned at the end of the video for our emails, some more information, a website link, and any questions or comments you may have for us. Thank you so much.